Hello, my friends. It's Darth Paradigm. I have another saber to show you. This time, coming at you from a little bit on the darker side of the Force. This is a Vader's Vault Dark Ardent. Drink it in. This hilt is 10 and 5/8 inches long, very slim, thin neck saber with plenty of windows to go around. And it's a marvel to wield. It's very comfortable. I'll just get that right out in the open right from the beginning. This thing spins and does tricks and is eminently easy to wield, and it's a delight. Now, I did not purchase this from Vader's Vault Direct. I actually bought this from an eBay seller, and it was sent to me from Australia. Yeah. So it's an older hilt. It's just a single LED, probably a tricree. This one has Suncrusher's Red, and it utilizes a crystal shard 4.5 soundboard. When it arrived, it had the Ardent font and I think gray meat, light meat, something like that. I've installed two fonts on here. I've installed Inquisitor and Exile, so I get the full run of the dark side fonts, and I'll demonstrate those to you towards the end of this review. So I currently have installed a trans-white blade. It's a Vader's Vault 32-inch trans-white blade. This utilizes a 1-inch blade holder. I find for Vader's Vault saber, indeed any saber that you really value or hold in high regard, a Vader's Vault blade is the way to go. I really, other than Saber Trio's blades and the blades from Ing Chao Armory, these blades are just amazing. They hold color really well, very consistently from one end to the other. The trans-white blades are definitely the way to go. So this isn't a NeoPixel. Like I said, it's an LED saber. And it's a thin neck, and one would think that looking at this thin neck that this would be kind of a brittle or a fragile saber. It is not. You can swing this thing with wild abandon, and at no point does it feel like it stresses, or it doesn't feel like it strains, or that you're at risk of damaging it in any way, shape, or form. So it's just brilliant. It's just a brilliant design. Just pretty much what you would expect from Vader's Vault. Just the highest quality imaginable, and it's just a delight. So the emitter has these wonderful little rings, and of course you've got your blade retention screw, LED retention screw. And unfortunately, I seem to be missing the LED retention screw, which doesn't seem to have any effect on the performance of the saber whatsoever. And it doesn't use the standard. I don't know sizes. I think it's like a 3/16, whatever they call it. I don't know sizes. That's not my forte. So I'm sure someone out there can inform me on what to get, because I would like to replace the screw, but I currently don't have one that matches. It's a little bit of a bigger gauge, and it uses whatever. So I have to replace that at some point, but it hasn't hindered the performance of this thing at all. These windows are phenomenal. I love this style of thin neck saber. I just love it. I mean, this is I only have two Vader's Vault sabers. I have this and a Revan Elite, and they're both petite and handle similarly, but I have a couple of Saber Forge thin neck sabers of this style, not really the Obi-Wan or Luke style with the, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. This is sort of just it's unique sort of approach, a unique aesthetic to a thin neck design that you see here. And yeah, I really this is one of my favorite types of hilts. I'll leave it at that. So you have a backlit switch. It lights up red. I'm actually going to turn this around because it makes it easier to show off the engraving on the right hand side of the hilt, which is just this a unique and wonderful little design. Now I think because when I was changing or when I was installing the fonts, a lot of times you have to copy all the configuration files, and there was files for the accent LEDs that you could get equipped on a saber like this. Now this one doesn't have accent LEDs, but I imagine that they will probably be there. I don't know. And I would really like to one of these days get one of these that is fully loaded with CFX and NeoPixel with accent LEDs and the whole works. I'm willing to spend the money, I think. That's how much I like this hilt. Anyway, so here's the rest of it. You have your auxiliary switch, which controls blaster block and lockup, so you get that effect. It also controls, special functions. The files contain audio tracks that play when you hold that button and perform a swing, as you're probably familiar with this, Plector Labs thing. The handle is very smooth, satiny, very comfortable to hold. There's nothing. There's no issues with the finishing whatsoever on a Vader's Vault hilt. You get what you paid for. This could possibly use a wrap, but I'm not going to put one on here because I don't feel that it needs it. I kind of like the. I've gotten used to handling this exactly as it is now, so I'm not really planning on altering that. You've got this kind of aluminum or anodized or whatever you want to call it section here. CoverTech wheel. The CoverTech wheel is rather plain, but it only serves one purpose. And here's a cube section here for the pommel. Kind of gives you a little bit of the it really accents the fact that this is a thin neck. A little bit of an homage to Obi-Wan or Luke's saber. I like this. They kind of picked that out. They picked out the color on the end. They anodized that. And here's your opening for the pommel. This is a very loud saber, as one would expect. Let's turn this about 180. All right, there you go. Yeah. This utilizes a lithium-ion 18650 battery. Shout out to Sidious, because I watched one of his videos. The Vader's Vault hilts, the older ones, as he indicated in his video, don't have recharge ports, so you actually have to remove the battery from the chassis. So you unscrew the pommel. And that's the way I approach it. I unscrew the pommel, and then I tap. You remove the chassis, the soundboard and the SD card is at one end. The battery is over here. The lead that connects to the negative, where the negative connects to the negative, has this sort of like hook that hangs down like that. So if you try to remove the battery from that side, it tends to ride up on the hook. And it starts to bend it, and that could snap. And if that happens, you don't want that to happen. That would be bad. So I work it from the positive lead. You can kind of lift up on that side, and it doesn't really damage anything. Now, I have a battery in here that's a little bit too tight for the chassis, so it's really in there tight. The battery that was in there was, one of those kind that you find on like the Ultimate Work Sabers. There's little green ones, little green 18650s. They're a little bit smaller and just fit into the chassis. And I had another one just like that, and I put it in there. It was just a little bit longer. They shouldn't really vary in size, but sometimes they do, and it kind of, now I have to use that battery in here. Otherwise, other batteries are just too loose. Anyway, so not that you need to hear all of that, but it's just something to be aware of. There's shenanigans going on here. The hilt, if I recall, it can unscrew right about here, I think, in which case that just reveals all the wiring in here. It's a rat's nest, so you wanna avoid opening it up from this end, because that can really damage the thing. So all the business end's kind of down here. And I think that takes care of all that mishmash. So let's put this up. Exile. All right, so right now I've got Exile booted. There's the windows. If I failed to mention, the LED is Suncrusher Red. And this is where it gets fun. It goes on for a while. So that's a wonderful font. All right, so the next one.
I am the Inquisitor.
Now that's not actually one of the boot fonts. That's one of the audio fonts that comes with the sound font. But I chose that as the boot font because, well, I wanted to hear the Inquisitor's voice, and I think he's really cool. One of my favorite characters from season 1 of Rebels. Here we go. It has this real throaty, rumbly kind of gratifying sound. I really like that.
Do you really think you can save the boy?
Whoop.
Do you really think you can save the boy?
Glorious. All right, so and the last font is the I believe it's the standard font that comes with a Ardent or a Dark Ardent. So I'll keep this on there for posterity. I think you can put up to 6 sound banks on here, if I'm not mistaken. Currently, I only have the 3, but I'll have 3 more. I'm gonna put a Revan font on here, and yeah, I'll find a few others. Maybe even might go Vader or like a Saj Ventress. Saj Ventress. Here we go. Hold on. I currently keep it on that one. So modestly loud. And the saber does shut off after, I don't know how long, what it's set for. I mean, I can adjust the amount of time, the interval between when the saber will go into sleep mode. I'll probably reduce that. Ideally, I prefer something, maybe just a couple minutes. That usually works for me. That's all adjustable in the SD card. You can adjust the configuration files to increase volume, decrease or increase sensitivity of different aspects of the saber. You can install fonts. You can pretty much control just about everything. It's all just text format. So once you understand what you're looking at, it's really easy to modify. Not only that, you can go to the Plectral Labs website, and whatever soundboard you have on a saber, you could just download a PDF for how to adjust the saber and whatnot. The manual explains everything. There is a port that you can connect directly to your PC. My PC is really old. It still runs Windows 7. I can't afford to replace my PC just yet. So the drivers on my PC don't really coincide with the compatible with the drivers for most of the soundboards that are available on the market. So for me, editing CFX sabers and Profi boards and installing fonts on Profi boards is next to impossible currently. But someday I will take care of that. So anyway, enough of my woes. Let me give you kind of a bit of a visual tour of my dark Ardent. If you check eBay often, or the Facebook marketplaces, or all the various resources, you can come across used hilts like this at really, really good prices. I got a really good price for this. And that way you don't have to wait 6 to 9 to and up months of lead time. Not that there's anything wrong with buying directly from a saber company, but I don't know. I like to save a little bit of money, and I like giving used sabers forever homes. Like I'll have this saber with me, pretty much for the remainder of my existence on this planet, and that is the way it should be. So anyway. Yeah, so as far as my rating for this wonderful hilt, I give it a 10 out of 10. The Dark Ardent is the bee's knees. Give it a thumb up. I really like this hilt. This thing's awesome. Handles like a dream. Yep. Anyway, so that pretty much that's the end of this review. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're so inclined to, like or dislike, whatever floats your boat. And at the very least, I hope you had fun. And please, stay safe, stay healthy. And just as much as possible, have fun and be happy. All right, guys, my love to you all. Please have a good evening or whatever, and I'll catch you next time. Take care now. Bye.